welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing another 10 things they don't tell you video, and this time I'm doing 10 things they don't tell you about weddings. So if you are in the process of putting together your own wedding, or maybe you have a loved one who's getting married, I hope that these 10 things are useful to you, because they sure would have been useful to me. So let's jump right into it. So the first thing to keep in mind is that you are going to have to tip everyone. During my planning process, I didn't take into account when we were first putting together our budget that we would have to tip everyone. It wasn't until we met with my wedding planner that sort of worked at the venue that she brought that up, and I thought that that was really fantastic that she did, because it was never something that I would have thought of my own. So definitely try to keep that in mind when you are putting together a wedding budget, that you're gonna have to work in tip. Everyone's weddings are a little bit different. It's best to talk to either your wedding coordinator, your wedding planner, someone who's gonna be in charge on the day of your wedding, and just make sure to go down a list of people who either be expecting a tip or people who you will want a tip, and try to work that into your budget. Number two kind of piggybacks off of number one, and that's tax. So again, something that I didn't consider when I was putting together my budget was the tax. It's so easy to kind of look at your per head price and think like, oh, amazing, that's totally within budget, but then to completely forget about tax and tip. So hopefully your wedding, again, your wedding coordinator or your wedding planner, whoever's kind of helping you put together your budget, will include those prices and percentages all together so that you can see it and make your decisions from there. And if you are responsible for all of that, definitely keep tax and tip in mind. Number three pertains to wedding dress shopping, and I mentioned this a little bit in my Kleinfeld experience video. I'll link that down below. But wedding dress consultants, if you're going to sort of a bigger salon, make a commission for the most part off of the dress that you buy. And the reason I bring that up is because you might feel a little bit of pressure from the consultant to choose a dress your first time, your second time, your third time. And I just wanted to let you know that it's completely okay not to choose the first dress you try on, not to feel the pressure to pick a dress immediately because either they're rushing you or you feel rushed. Number four, you're probably going to be responsible for feeding all of your vendors the day of your wedding. So keep that in mind, again, when you're putting together your budget at whatever venue or whatever caterers you're looking to use. Again, that was not something that I immediately thought of. Luckily, our wedding planner, wedding coordinator was able to tell me that information straight ahead before we even signed anything, so we were aware of those costs. But it definitely can be something that sneaks up on you, so keep in mind that there are going to be people at the wedding, like your band or your DJ, your photographer, people that will again either expect to be fed or you'll want to feed because they're going to be there for a long time. You want to keep them happy. So definitely something to keep in mind when putting together your budget. Number five, flowers. So flowers can get very, very expensive, especially if you're using real flowers, and especially if your flowers are out of season. It's so easy to look on Pinterest and pin like all these gorgeous bouquets and to bring them into the florist and say like, this is my dream bouquet. This is exactly the bouquet that I want to use walking down the aisle, but then to realize that all of those flowers are out of season or they're not local to the area. Again, that was not something that I even considered when thinking about my bouquet. I was like, oh my goodness, duh. Like, of course these flowers aren't in season. I'm getting married in the winter. Or of course this flower is like native to, you know, a different continent and isn't even here. So that's something that I would say keep in mind when you're discussing or thinking about what type of flowers you want at your wedding. Number six, your parents are always going to want to invite 5 to 15 to 20 extra people that originally weren't on your list. I'd say be prepared for that. I had no idea. My parents are really chill. They're really laid back. I had no idea that, you know, every few weeks I'd be receiving a text message with a few extra names, a few extra people, and luckily we were able to accommodate them, but just something to keep in mind when you are putting together your guest list. I would say try to keep it a little bit flexible from anywhere to 5 to 10 people. And I know that's a lot when you're paying per plate, per head, but I think it's better to kind of keep a ballpark in mind when putting together invitations and when putting together a guest count than feeling overwhelmed at the last minute when your parents like throw in, you know, an extra aunt or uncle or something. Number 7, it's really important to keep in mind where you're getting married and how your friends and family are going to get there and whether or not they're gonna have to sleep there. Again, this is not something that I immediately thought of when I was looking at venues. It was very much like, let's just go to your dream venue. Let's find your dream location. Where is it that you've always dreamed that you'd get married? And that's all sweet and good, but in actuality, especially because half of my family was coming in from out of town, it was really important for me and for my husband to find a venue that people could access easily and that was close to hotels that people could stay at. And I think originally when I was looking at different venues, that wasn't something I was keeping in mind. That wasn't even something I thought about. But then when it was brought to my attention, I was like, oh yeah, duh, like I need to pick a place that people know how to get to, that people feel confident getting to, and that is close to places that people can sleep if they want to sleep over. Number 8, if you do have friends and family sleeping over in hotels that are nearby, or if you've given them recommendations of places where they can stay, if they're flying in from far away just for your wedding, then it is courtesy to put together little care baskets in their hotel rooms. That way when they come, they have toothpaste, shampoo, conditioner, all little great things, little toiletries that they can use, as well as like little cute things. I didn't include that in the budget beforehand, and I guess that's what I'm trying to tell you, is that little things like that start to add up really quickly, and care baskets weren't something that I immediately thought of when we were drawing together our budget, and it wasn't until a lot later, where I did have some family members staying at the hotel that we recommended they stay at, that I realized, oh right, courtesy, I should put together a basket for them. And you know, you can put together baskets for pretty cheap, but at the end of the day, it does start to add up, and if you are trying to hold yourself to a very strict budget, all those little things, yeah, they matter. Number 9, so everyone always talks about how your wedding day is the best day of your life, how, you know, you're gonna feel amazing, you're gonna be beautiful, but what they don't tell you is that sometimes you won't feel that way. Sometimes you'll feel really anxious, really scared, really nervous, and I definitely felt so nervous the entire morning of my wedding. I don't know how people do it. They're like calm, cool, and collected brides. I think that, you know, that's amazing, but honestly, for me, I felt so nervous, so anxious, and not in a negative way, just in a, oh my gosh, I can't believe this day is here. Like, you know, this is the biggest day of my life sort of thing, and I can't believe it's happening, and we've been planning for it for so long, and no one really ever told me that like that was a possibility, that feeling that way was a possibility. Yeah, just completely trying to normalize that, hey, you might not exactly feel like totally carefree the morning of your wedding, that you might feel nervous, you might feel anxious, but once you're married, like once it's time to party, I promise that those feelings will go away. It was really nice after the marriage ceremony. I just felt like, oh, whew, finally I can breathe, I can party, like I don't have to be worried anymore about things like going right, going wrong, it doesn't matter, like we're married, done. The last thing is you absolutely do have time to eat and to mingle. So I feel like you're always told like, oh, you're gonna have no time to eat, like you're putting together a menu of food that like you'll never get to try. Honestly, I don't know if it was just my husband and I, but we had plenty of time to eat. We had plenty of time to see all of our friends and family. We really were able to kind of mingle with everyone, and I'm sure it depends on how many people you have at your wedding. If you have 400 people at your wedding, it might be kind of difficult, it might be kind of hard, but I felt like for the most part, we were able to spend some nice time with everybody, and when it was time to eat, the great thing is everybody wants to eat. Everyone wants to have dinner. Everyone wants to kind of sit down and relax for a little bit, and so I found that that was actually the perfect time for us to sit down and eat as well. We got to sit, we got to eat our meals, and it was great. So guys, those are the 10 things that they don't tell you about weddings. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments down below if any of these were helpful, or if you are married, if you experienced any of these at your own wedding or through your wedding process. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a big thumbs up, and I'll talk to you guys really soon. Bye guys!